This is fucking supposed to stay on, or is it supposed to come off too? There's plastic on here. I don't know if this is supposed to stay. Part of me, it feels like it's going to be... Because the instructions do not fucking say. No, that's not just going to fill up. Okay, that's fine with me. I don't give a shit. Anti-screw's gonna make me lose my sanity. Oh, sorry, I didn't notice that. Lycan, welcome in to the chill. I am sorry I didn't, dude. I was so fucking hardcore into this right now. My brain was just. Let me catch up here, guys. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. It's a good distraction. Thank you. No problem. Mess up with the videos. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't have a sleep schedule anymore these days. I've given up. Happy as just children. Yep. Hey, do you have any opinion on Wooting keyboards? My breed day is coming up and I was thinking about getting the 2HE. I haven't personally used them, so I don't want to throw an opinion around. I have heard good things about them, but I don't want to personally be like, yeah, oh, they're great, because again, I've never used one, so. I think I'd take tie screws any day over having that video. What in the... Gotcha. Just look here in a second. What switches you're rolling with in this build? Bluish whites. My brain's spacing on the brand. You can type !@ keyboard and it'll tell you all the specs for this build, if you is curious. The whole entire start of the stream was me lubing switches. I'd meant to do that today before the stream, but just never had time to. So, as the entire first part of the stream was just lube. Tons and tons and tons of lube. If you are in the US, I use the website Milktooth. Is it Milktooth? Yeah, I think it's Milktooth. They were about 110 of them, and it was $50 with free shipping. It is definitely quiet, and better example. I did put some in my old keyboard, which was a GMMK Pro. So here's the switches I had before. And here's the new one. Old and new. And then the lubed new. I mean, it's a tactile switch, so it's not meant to be completely silent. I'm going very thock on this keyboard. It's in the right place. I ain't a fucking clue. If I got some too thought, yeah. I mean, the deep thocks aren't very loud. That's the thing is, like, just because it's thocky doesn't mean it's gonna be super loud. This one isn't gonna be super loud, and that's because, like, I already have a problem with like where I want to position my mic for my stream in my other room versus where it's gonna pick up the keyboard sounds. What the fuck is going on with this one? Like, because it allows me to know if I'm actually mess with PC. That's not a bad reason to have a mechanical. These are all identical, right? They didn't like send specific ones for specific spots. Awesome. So Warframe, more about you in the journey. I am an LR2. And I am at the point of what the fuck do I do today? Every time I start it up, pretty much. Right, everyone, those are not wanting to go in the fucking holes. Oh, motherfuckers. Problem found. They're doing this one fucking flipped upside down. That's why I couldn't fucking get it in. I was trying to put it in the wrong hole. Everybody's got to try to put it in the wrong hole at least once in their life, right? Get to the point where I collected most primes in peace. My problem is I'm still so enjoying Warframe. There's nothing else I really want to fuck. There's nothing else I really want to play right now. But I am at that point of the fuck do I do? I would love to hit LR4, and I've pretty much done the calculations. I can get to LR4. It's just some of the shit I'm gonna have to try and get my hands on to do that. I don't know if my sanity is gonna take it. I sell fish. Is it bad that I'd almost prefer to go back to lubing over putting stabilizers in? Is that bad? I was turned off by the Kuva Lich grind. I don't know when you last played, but the Kuva Lich grind has actually gotten better. They've made it more in line with how the sisters are. And by that, I mean in terms of how long it takes to unlock all of the symbols you need for it. She's also down. Yeah, it's... Don't get me wrong, I'm still not the biggest fan of it, but it has gotten substantially better. Sisters is so much better. In my opinion, at least. This is why when working on electronics, never put a huge amount of downward force. If you slip, you don't want to accidentally take out a fucking resistor or something. Which also means I didn't do the open world level talking about. Yeah. Oh, what open? I wasn't talking about an open world level. I thought you're talking about his fishing. I was talking about Sisters, which is just the Corpus Lich. Um, I wouldn't say micro soldering. Nothing on here is smaller than what I've had to repair in the past. Granted, it's been a good year and a half or two since last time I fucking soldered anything. But I've soldered stuff this small. Yeah, Sisters is just the Corpus version of the Liches. Alright. Here for a minute. Even the freaking top plate for this thing is pretty. Oh, I mean, just look at that. It's all good. I do a lot of new player and returning player helps. Welcome back. I can show you if you give me a second. So there's keycaps. So there is the bottom housing. It's greener in person. Both this and the keycaps are very close. The keycaps are a little darker, but that's not an easy color to color match. So with how close I got on the keycaps, I'm quite happy. Here's the here's the other ones. I love the legend that's on these. The symbols on them are so nice. And the top for this is polycarbonate. So a lot of this is going to show through. And yes, it does have an LCD, which I'm also not looking forward to having to wire up to close this bitch. That's going to be a mofo. Yep, I was quite happy. It's sadly out of stock. I'm very lucky I did it when I did it. Because it is now, like, literally just several days later out of stock of it. And if you're into the custom keyboards, you know just how much of a pain finding ones you like in stock can be. Nope. Yep. Actually, let's... So I was curious. This is a magnetic parts tray thing. Stuff like that, some of the best. If you're ever working on stuff like this, it's some of the best shit you can ever get. I'm still rolling with a shitty Dell membrane 15 years ago. Yeah, I think it was a tax return 1 year is when I got my first one, which, like I said, is kind of my recommendation if somebody wants to get their first, because it's always in stock, and it's dirty as fuck. I'm actually gonna clean this when I'm done with this. It's the glorious GMMK Pro. This thing is a solid tank. The hell is next to my knob? This is solid aluminum. Like, you could kill somebody just by dropping this on them. And it's a very good keyboard, and glorious software is okay. So I do have a thing for standoffs, but it's for the big standoffs. Can you tell I also build computers? And full of all the different types of computer screws and standoffs and shit. I got my keyboard from the clearance off from Walmart 4 years. Yeah. And I spent 2.5K on my PC during the pandemic, and I spent almost nothing on. Yeah, that's about normal. Um, I've always just thought mechanical keyboards are cool. Yeah, I'm old enough that I came from a time period where mechanical keyboards were the norm, where membranes hadn't yet kind of taken over the world, so to speak. Do I have something in my little case that can work with that? Actually, too small. Fuck yes. Oh, I love this screwdriver set. Holy shit. I've had this set for years and it's still, the little motherfucker comes in handy so goddamn often. I mean, I started on Apple G2. I have no idea if it was a mechanical keyboard or not. Probably would have been. No, I am Cephalon Suitor right now, Rosenberg. My parents had old portable typewriter. I used to practice using a keyboard because we didn't have a computer when I was a kid. Neither did we. I had the first computer my sister bought when she got a job. She bought a Gateway back in the day. I didn't have my own computer till sometime in high school, and it was a piece of shit that my uncle Jeff gave me, built out of old shitty parts he had lying around. Don't get me wrong, I used the ever living fuck out of it. Cheated on so much shit from it. I had this old shitty encyclopedia disc or disc set, and it was nothing that any teacher had a database of. It was some weird one, and I used to copy out of there to do essays and shit, and just made sure to fix everything and change up the wording enough no one would know. I remember my mom buying a 2 kilobyte hard drive for my dad and him getting pissed because it was like $300. I remember my first thumb drive and that motherfucker being something like 100 and something megabytes and being blown away by that, and a compatible or in the small form, not having to carry around fucking floppies. I remember being in school playing shit like Oregon Trail on the old Apples with the big ass floppy disks. Oregon Trail always annoyed me as a kid. Did you always let Jimmy drown because you forded the river? Damn, Skippy. Fuck you, Jimmy. Shit. There it is. You have died of dysentery. All I always wanted to know as a kid was, who the fuck was Terry and why are we dissing him so much? I think we need to stop. Terry seems dangerous. That was a bad dad joke, and I'm entirely okay with that. Put in reverse, Terry! Terry, no, Terry! That shit's hilarious. I did chuckle from that, and I'm happy I kept your stream today. So I'm about to get frisked. What? Why am I about to get frisked? I didn't do shit. Sir, I plead the fifth. You have no proof. Might just swap out to a fatter. Oops. Yeah, one would think, with how expensive these things are, these kits, that they'd be 100% perfect, right? Like, there'd be no issues, no flaws, nothing. It's one thing I always warn people about. These things are very low production items. Fucking, yeah, good luck. Damn it, Tara! I had that God of Reveal stuck in my head, and I just hope I stop having it rear its ugly head in my mind. I mean, if you want to stop being in your mind, just, you know, reach in, hit the fucking stop button in your brain. Can't everybody do that? And just take a stick, go through the air, down to the left 30 degrees, and there's a stop button. It's a permanent stop, but I mean, it stops nonetheless. Which, disclaimer, the stream does not promote any self-harm. All jokes, don't ban me, please. 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 I was about to look at some. I was gonna go look, take a break to look at the video. Ah, Videos like that. Yeah, I would love to tell you a good solution for it. I don't. Stuff like that never leaves your brain. You'll forget about it until one day you'll be standing next to Blender and remember. Um, I One thing you'll notice is Reaper, the guy I stream with, is military, and most of my friends are military. Most of the people I've gotten along with are military, and the reason for that is I share their sense of humor. Why do I have a very military sense of humor? It comes from a somewhat similar place. Now, I always make sure to state I'm not equating my experience to what military personnel go through, not in the slightest. But it's just it's a similar kind of area. Um, I have always been an extremely curious person, often to my detriment. You know, the whole curiosity killed the cat. Yeah, I think I ran out of my 9 lives like 30 years ago. And back in the days of Kazaa, LimeWire, and all that shit, I was curious if there was real videos of death. Because when you're that young and you see death all the time on TV and movies, you get curious, does it look like that? We know these are fake, but what does real death look like? I'm not going to describe the video I saw here. It involves soldiers and an execution and a person who eventually could have played the Headless Horseman, is as much as I'll say. The sound he made when it happened, and again, I'm not going to describe it, or the act or the sound, but the sound he made when it happened, I can still hear vividly to this day. Now, granted, that was a very extreme video, but never let it be something that just haunts you and rules you. Realize that it is a thing you have seen. It is just a thing that exists in this world. And every time it pops in your head, just think of something you love deeply that you find hilarious. For example, making bacon pancakes works for me. Whenever one of those old videos pops in my head, I never even watched the show, but I can always get bacon pancakes stuck in my head. And that replaces anything. Or another great one, if you need to get shit like that out of your head, right? I got one for you. Let me pause our music and make it to where you can hear the browser. All right, here we go. Best thing, get anything out of your head. My apologies. I had to. My brain said it. It had to be done. Experiencing someone dying firsthand is something I probably won't forget. Yeah, it's a hard thing. Later in life, I have witnessed it firsthand a couple times. It's never easy. It is never easy to see that, because it's not just, you know, the empathy of another person losing their life. It's also something that puts the stark reality of our own mortality clearer in view in front of you. You can no longer ignore it. It's there. You're staring dead at it, and that can really mess you up if you're not ready for it. Dude, if you're my viewer, you should always be ready for Rick rolls because I fucking love that song. But I love that song and Reaper hates it. So anytime that I can get him with it is a good day. Oh, y'all missed it earlier. So Reaper always leaves his headphones on when he gets up and goes into somewhere else in his house. He has a thing that I have on called Tangia. Tangia lets you send interactions using bits. Some of those are jump scares. One that he hates and I love getting him with is the door knock that goes pans left and right. I somehow pulled off hitting that when he left his desk with his headphones on. I somehow pulled off getting it to hit right when he walked past his back door. And it came out of the side of his headphones where the back door was. I told Rosenberg, I'm like, get ready for anger when he comes back. And sure enough, motherfucker was pissed. Yeah, when people try to rickroll me, I'm like, you just played for me a song I love. In what world do you think that's going to hurt me in the slightest? Okay. We need to put the little rubbers on. Are these supposed to be slit at all? Like, what are you supposed to do about right there? Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm stupid. I am dumb. I was sitting there thinking you had to put them on like that. No. No, I'm an idiot. They go on like that. Boom. Oh, it's not one of those. I planned on hopping over to Warframe when we're done here. And my other computer is literally on and ready to stream. But by the time we finish this, I might be ready to freaking pass out. Especially that lube job. Because for those who weren't here for it, you can ask Rosenberg. I spent several hours there lubing up all of those switches. We are definitely getting into the home stretch. I know it probably doesn't look like it, but I wish I could say that was for me as well, because I have actually seen that video you're talking about in the past. I don't know how long that video has been floating around the internet now. If it's the video I'm thinking of. So I knew exactly what you're talking about as soon as I started reading the description. And no, nobody out there needs to go look it up. Take my word for it. It's not worth watching. Like I said, just find something that you like and you find funny and just watch that and just try not to think about it. I wish I had better advice, but there's really not. Just try and distract your brain, get your brain thinking about something else, focus on that. It's about all you can do. And just realize people are always going to be like that. There's always going to be people who are like, haha, I've won. I love trolls. I love trolls because I am myself a troll, but I'm a troll with, you know, the desire to not fuck with people who are nice. So I am what's called a cannibal troll. That is, I go after other trolls. So when I come across a troll, I'm like, oh, baby boy. Not to mention, if you can't tell from my weight and my looks, I spent most of my youth being bullied. And shit like that was why, you know, the first thoughts and potential attempts of commit self-die happened, right? You know, people don't ever think about that. Like, I had a bully that was, dear God, my entire school year doing band. I nearly permanently quit band because of him. Because my band teacher was one of those teachers who's like, yeah, I'm not dealing with it. You're on your own, kid. He wouldn't even move me to a different fucking seat in the room away from the dude. There's always those people who you have no idea what their life's like, what they've been through, so or why they're doing it. You just have to kind of be like, look, you're as fucked as you are, but I'm not going to let you fuck me any further. You just have to realize those people are going to be around and they're always going to try and bring you down. And the only thing you can really do is just not let them. And that's all. It's an easy thing to say, right? It's easy to say, just don't let them. It's not an easy way to live or even thing to try and actually accomplish. But you have to find your way of stopping them from affecting who and what you are, because then they've done their goal. If they affect your life in any way like that, they've officially done what it is they want to do. And the only thing you can ever really truly do is do your best to make sure they don't get that victory. They don't get that satisfaction of having won, essentially, for lack of a better term. Those curious, by the way, these are batteries. This is technically a wireless keyboard. This tape. You believe it is. Cool. I was hoping there was a way to stick these batteries down so than just being loose in here. You know, that was one of the things that... I'm sorry. Yeah, it was the same thing I kind of talked about last time. You just can't let them win. The moment you let them affect your life, you know, in the moment, it's hard to stop them from affecting your life, right? Like when it happens. But afterwards, it's your choice whether or not you let it continue like that. As I was about to talk about, like back when I was bullied, I came very close to, you know, hitting the permanent off switch on myself. Because no one cared. You know, this is the South in the early 2000s. The whole change of how things were felt and anti-bullying movements hadn't really happened yet. And so I had the letter written. I was trying to figure out how I was going to do it. I was at that point. But what stopped me was the realization that if I do it, that's them winning. If I do that, if I commit self-stoppage on my life, they've essentially won. Whether or not that's what they wanted, whether or not they, you know, were after that end result, they have achieved that end result. And you could think, oh, well, now they have to live with that, the realization that they did that, but they're never, even if they somehow knew it happened, they're not going to give a shit. It's not the kind of person a bully is. So that's why I never did it, is that realization of I'm giving them an ultimate victory. The only reason they might be sad is the realization that they don't have me to bully anymore. And that was legitimately what kept me from ever doing it back then. As an adult, what stopped me more these days is just knowing that life has the potential always to suddenly get better. Of course, it can suddenly get far worse, but it can also always get better too. There's always that potential. And ending it means you've killed that potential. That potential is no longer there. Ending it stops it from ever potentially getting better again. And so for me, it's always been a case of, yeah, things are horrible, but, you know, my life, for as bad as it is, for as much as problems I've had, isn't the worst life anyone's ever led or had. I don't ever think that. And of course, I very much hate that whole who's had it worse off. It's funny and cute in Deadpool. It's not in real life. Because I've had those arguments with people going back and forth. No. I've had it worse because of this. Nobody wins in those at all. I wish I had some freaking caps on tape these days. I really need to buy another roll of caps on. I use the shit out of it. I joined the military when I was young and dumb to just escape my family. It wasn't until I came back from the military then I realized my family was willing to listen the whole time. I wish I could say the same, and I'm very happy for you that that's the case. I tried that a few times when I was younger. There was one where it was very dark place at the time for me mentally, and I tried, and that's when I realized the person I reached out to, I should just give up on ever trying that again. But I now have people like Reaper. You know, that's one of the big things. Uh, because I didn't just give up, I eventually met Reaper, and now I have that friendship and that relationship with him. And if at any point in any day I needed to, I could give him a phone call whenever. No questions asked. What is this? Oh, it's a switch film. I guess this one would probably go on top of the piece, on top of the plate. But that would mean covering up the plate, though. No, I think this one would have gone down below. So this one would have, yeah, I'm not worried about that. That seems redundant. All right, ladies and germs, we are at that point. Said before, and we'll say it again. I despise ribbon cables. To be fair, I don't think anyone on this planet likes freaking ribbon cables. No, I know a lot of engineers. They despise ribbon cables too. Right way. We're good. It's like I used to work on laptops for friends, family, you know, fixing issues, replacing screens, stuff like that. I had to stop because the shit that's in them these days is just getting wild. I believe these batteries came charged during an LC. I don't know how well you can see. You can see the light coming through. I'd rather put together a paintball gun when just a breakdown schematic. I'm sadly not jealous of Shibby Electronics. I've had my moments, that's for sure. Oh no, this is just a cruel fucking joke. Do you see how short that ribbon cable is? Huh. Uh, I wish you luck. I'm happy to help. Yeah, happy to be here. Always nice actually having company. Killing me, Smalls. We're not. We're gonna pretend like this whole LCD saga never happened, as Dad realizes how stupid he is. We're all gonna move on and pretend like nothing happened here. We all just agree on that one? I think we can agree on that one. Yep, nothing happened. No one saw anything. No one saw Dad being the dumb. Didn't happen. Ted be that stupid? What's his name, Reaper? Reminds me I need to buy new gloves. Be back in a minute, guys.
You